Hi, today I want to talk a little bit about tiered instruction. I think sometimes we lose sight of general ed practices in the deaf ed world. So I want to talk about tier 1, 2, and 3 instruction and how I believe we should incorporate those into our classroom. So tier 1 instruction, I'm just going to explain each of these. I'm sorry if that seems kind of basic, but tier 1 instruction is our general full classroom instruction, grade level instruction. Tier 2 is then where you would pull out and do smaller support groups, bringing it down to meet students who are maybe not performing at grade level. And then finally, tier 3 would be the one-on-one instruction for intensive intervention support for kids who are well below grade level. So in our deaf ed classrooms, first of all, our class sizes are so small. So in general ed, they look at tier 1 instruction and they're looking at, 25, 30 students, perhaps more. And then their tier 2 tends to be in smaller groups, maybe 5 to 10 students in a smaller group. In deaf ed, so often our class sizes are very small, more like a tier 2 level group in general ed classroom. So really in deaf ed, we're looking at tier 1 and 2 coming together, and really our general class instruction is at a tier 2 level because of our class size. Then when we need to break out and have support groups, those are more like one-on-one. You don't really take a group of 5 to 7 students and break them out even smaller. I mean, you can, but in utilizing time effectively, our instruction really becomes tier 2 and tier 3. So the way we look at it with Fairview is that we want to do a tier 1, 2 instruction at grade level, which is exposing those kids to that grade level material, not necessarily expecting them to access it on their own, reading that material on their own. No, we are exposing it to them, exposing them to it, and then discussing, when it comes to literacy, discussing story components, discussing literary components with material at their grade level that we have given them. Then at tier 3 instruction, which is that one-on-one intervention, we can see them at their appropriate instructional level applying the strategies. So that's another key point to make, is that there's grade level instruction, which is what grade they are in, and that core curriculum. Then there's instructional level, which is one level above their independent level. And then there's independent level, which I think in deaf ed we miss a lot, because in gen ed so often grade level and instructional level match. But in deaf ed, we have grade level instruction. We usually have instructional level of the individual and then independent level of the individual as well. That independent level should be what they're working on at home, reading independently at home. Then during intervention, that's when we work on their instructional level material, see how they apply the strategies, see how effectively they're grasping the strategies that we're modeling during that grade level instruction. So just some leveling to keep in mind during your instruction. Thanks.